Good morning from the north. Here we are in the treatment tank. Normally these are my breeding stations, but nobody's active right now, laying eggs or nothing. So they double as treatment tanks. And another one wasn't looking so hot this morning, so I threw it in here. This tank still got 1 day of treatment left in it. And the guy that was in here, I just put this cube in and they went straight to it. So the one in the back, I just added. He's starting to look bad, so I put him in. The one in the front, he was just still yesterday. Now he's showing some immediate food interest instead of eating hours later. He's still skinny as a rail. This one's pretty skinny too, but it's better off. So we're just gonna give him a little more time with some treatments. They're both going for the shrimp though. See, that's the real sick one. He's up there getting some mouthfuls. The shrimp's pretty filling and fattening, so I'm actually gonna start making some. I have some live shrimp kit. I just got to figure out how to use it. I'm going to get on that, I think, today. And tomorrow I'm going to start giving them baby brines. And I'm going to grow out the baby brines into adult brines and start feeding those too. We're going to try that for a while and see if we get more interest and more weight, but definitely eating right now. So and it's probably better that I've put a second one in here because they hate being alone. It's already brightened his day. But yeah, these two are struggling still. So I'm gonna tomorrow we'll drain this tank, refill it. I'll hit them again, and we'll give them the whatever it is, Crossy Pro, or fuck, I can't remember the name of that one. Pardon the language. Let's go have a look at the big tank. Here we are. These guys are getting a water change this morning. They don't need it. Their tags are fine. They're getting it anyway, because that's how we work here. A couple days ago, the Oscars didn't need it either, but they got it. And I just don't subscribe to the no water change mantra that's out there. I have plants, I have sumps, I have biomedia coming out my derriere on all my systems, and I still do my water changes. So they're pooing and peeing in the water. I don't care how many plants you have, that's what they're doing. The plants will take care of some of it, yes. Eliminate a lot of the toxins and prolong your laziness, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. But no. Quite frankly, it's animal abuse. People get mad because I keep this many discus in a tank, but I have the filtration required to do it, and I do the work that's required to keep them healthy. So the recommendations, okay, for fish stocking, those recommendations are made for a reason. They're made because the average person is lazy and doesn't really give a shit. Pardon the language again. So they tell you, okay, if you only put 6 or 8 discus in a tank like this, yeah, a lazy person, the discus have a better chance because the odds are it's going to be with a lazy person. And that's what the stocking mantra is all about. Okay. So if you want more fish and you're willing to do the work, you can have more fish. My fish are fine. I have those two that are struggling over there, but they're struggling because they have weak immune systems and bad genes. It happens, especially with discus. It's a very common problem. You buy enough of them, you're going to get a couple that do that. You're going to lose one here or there because of it. And it's nothing to do with how many fish are in my tank. Absolutely nothing to do with that. Not at all. I could keep those fish in a bubble boy-like environment, but what's that do? So I keep genetically weak fish alive, and they breed and they create more genetically weak fish that have no immune systems. And then you end up with this discus market full of genetically weak fish, and everybody's got glass bottom tanks, and they're really not enjoying the hobby because they're keeping their fish like a person would keep a bubble boy, you know? Like, oh, he's got no immune system. Let's keep the kid in a bubble in his room for his whole life, and you know, a complete void. No, that's not how it works. You do your best. The strong survive. Unfortunately, the weak won't make it. Breeders are supposed to identify and cull the weak, but nowadays they sell them, and you know, I can't complain because I've got a lot of nice fish. I mean, I bought batches of very young fish. When they're very young, it's hard to identify that they have, say, a bad kidney or something that's going to take them out in a few months. A defective kidney, or you know, just you don't know what's going on in their little organs, and the defect rates are high. They have defects in their eyeballs. They have defects, like it's in their fins. They're captive bred fish, and we've been captive breeding them into like colors that Mother Nature wouldn't allow. You know, we're doing to these fish what we've done to dogs, and we've created pugs, you know, massively deformed, augmented fish. So there's going to be problems, and unfortunately, if you buy young fish, you're going to see them. Now, if you buy adult fish, you see if you buy a fish that's a year old, you're not going to lose him. He's basically over the hump, and if he had a defect that was going to kill him, he would already be dead. So, and that's kind of how it works. Let's go take a peek downstairs. Now here we are as we come downstairs. Pardon the mess on the left there. It's been a hurricane down here last couple days because I've been doing a lot of reorganizing. But this is, you know, the view you're used to. I've been in here with the camera a lot, and you're definitely used to seeing this tank by now because it's been here a few weeks. But now we've expanded. We've opened up that rest of that wall. I could probably fit an 8-foot tank right there, you know, or build a rack and put a couple 4 or 5 foots up there. I'm probably going to put smaller tanks. I got a bunch of 30 gallons, so I'm going to build a rack with 3 30 gallons, I think, and we're going to put them there and use them for. 2 of them are 30 longs, so if I need treatment for Oscars, I'm going to need those. So they're going here, and but I could also use them as discus storage, baby storage, which is really what I want them for. So depending on what I need, I'll use. And over here we have the computer. This is my backup system. I've had it for a while, and it's been sitting in a closet, so I pulled it out. It's an old gaming system. It's actually a really good computer. It's super kick-ass. It's just not as modern as the one I have upstairs. It's probably better, though. If I put the right video card in here, this computer's probably, and a better SSD hard drive. This computer would probably be faster than my newer one. But now it's the fish computer. We'll just, let's just keep that going. That way we can see some discus while we're downstairs, because there's none down here. That's the upstairs tank. All the fishies enjoying their day. Pre-recorded. It's actually one of the videos from yesterday. Or the day before. Aren't they gorgeous? See, even on the TV, I can't stop watching them. And here we have the Oscars live, and let me just get my footrest. Kick the old feet up, sit here, and I'll have the computer. Soon I'm gonna have cameras on each tank. I don't know. I keep saying soon, and I shouldn't, because if I pull the trigger on too many things at once, I'm going to get myself in trouble. So I gotta. It's very tempting to just want to build Rome in a day. It really is. It's so hard not to do, but build it we will. These guys are loving life today. Why is it doing that? So annoying. See how black Sly gets when he's happy. He's a black fish. I love that. That's why I bought him. I just thought he was great, because he was so dark. Normally they're not so dark. And I like his little crooked mouth. That's why we call him Sly. She's been showing nice darker blacks as well. Everybody's showing better blacks. So, with discus, black is bad, but these guys it's not bad. They're showing good color. They're happy. That's the way it should be. He's meant to be super pale. But we're going to get him showing some color too. I think I can do it. I think I've already brought his yellows out a bit. We're going to keep him going. Beautiful fish though. We're getting some krill today. That really helps boost color. Oranges, yellows, it'll help them pop. And yeah. And then, we've got the new setup over here. So whatever's running on the computer in the other room will be over here on this screen, which is sitting up on top of the glass canopy. It's a very strong, thick glass canopy though, so there's no risk of it going anywhere. And here's the silver dollars doing their thing in the newly scaped 65 gallon that's recently been linked into the overall flow system. 450 gallons. All these fish are enjoying 450 gallons of water, even though they're in different tanks. Doesn't matter. And a lot of people get confused by that. It's not the space, it's the water volume that matters. Okay, like the difference between a 120 gallon tank and a 300 or 400 gallon tank is not really, it's nice. It's definitely nice, but it's not a big deal to the Oscar, because the Oscar should be swimming in millions of gallons of water, and 300 is a drop in the bucket, just as much as 120 is a drop in the bucket. So what I've done is I've given them as much water volume as I can, because now they're breathing and living in a larger quantity of water regardless of the size of the tank they're in across the system, and they breathe and enjoy water like they would in a 450 gallon tank. All these fish in all these 4 tanks, which are linked into those 2 big barrels that are both filled to the brim with water as well. It's all flowing through each other. So, had a comment yesterday in a video from the prior day, and I got torn up about my Oscar tank's going to be a cesspool because I got six Oscars in it, and people like me, blah 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 blah. I mean, I get it. He stumbled onto my videos. He hasn't watched any previous ones, doesn't understand my setup, and he thinks I just got that many Oscars in one tank. And probably thinks I only have the one tank. So, God bless him. He or she meant well, but at the same time, don't be so quick to judge. I'm doing these fish good. I look after my animals. So he said I wouldn't be showing these tanks in a year. 6 months to a year. So I mean, pick one. 6 months, sure. A year, sure. It won't be a problem. I heard all these same comments about overstocking my discus for months and months and months and months and months. And then, for some reason, despite all of their negativity, my discus are doing better than most. And no one beats me up for overstocking my discus. And when you see the growth rates on my Oscars are insane, and that just means they're growing like they're in a 450 gallon system. Actually, well, it was 400 gallon system until recently, but these little guys are growing like bad weeds. Tell me those aren't happy fish. This one's always been a bit of a retard, but she's still happy. Or he, I don't know what he is. They all stick together, and he's off to the side because he's like a misfit. I think it's got a screw loose. He swims like he's got a screw loose. But anyway, these fish are all very happy. Their tanks are very clean, and you watch. They're going to grow, and they're going to get along because their water quality is going to be good. And I think when it comes to these fish, the aggression is actually all water quality related. So, but I've got that licked, you see. I've got that. I'm doing things that people don't do. And that's why I can do this with my tanks. Period. These fish are going to live fine in this tank. She's as big as they get. Look at all the space around her. Okay, each one of those individual fish, how much space they're taking right now. They still have tons of space around them. And then each one of those fish, if you just magnify them to her size, it's going to be gorgeous, first of all, while they're all swimming around. And there's more than enough space for them to all swim around comfortably. And they're all going to have lots of water. 450 gallons, heck, I could add more. There could be another 6-foot tank going in here. Or even a couple 4-foots. I don't know. I think I'm going to put a 30-gallon rack system there though, with 3 30 gallons. But I could put that somewhere else. So if I stumble on another 5 or 6 foot tank before I build that rack, it'll probably end up right there to the right of us. So, and if I did that, I had that kind of water volume sitting there, I would definitely just link it into the barrels. So, and then they'd have another 120 gallons of water added to their 450 gallons. And you see where I'm getting at? It's the volume that matters. Give it a shot. If you got a place that's too small for your ambitions, you get the biggest tank you can and drop a 50 gallon or 60 gallon. They even got 80 gallon upright rain barrels. They're very strong. They hold the water. They're sturdy. They don't tip over. And you load that up and you link it into your system. So, you could buy yourself a 75 gallon tank, which is, a little more affordable, because after that they get stupid expensive. And then you could drop an 80 gallon rain barrel right beside it in the corner, not taking up much room because it's vertical. Load that up with water and biomedia and pot those plants up on top, because they all have a little planter section on top these days. So you just put your pothos plants in there, drill a bunch of holes so the roots get down the water, and and then you circulate that into your tank. Now your 75 gallon tank is like 160 gallons, and oh well, how many fish can I put in a 160 gallon tank? That's how it works. Okay, as long as you can fit them in there comfortably, and they're not like 6 foot long fish like arowana. I exaggerated there, but you get what I'm saying. Oh, I've done this thing with my Can Do It. It sucks. Oh well. Sigh. Gonna call it here anyway. This one's getting a bit long. But thanks for watching. And if you think water volume isn't the thing that matters, let me know. Let me know. And what are your predictions a year from now? What do you think? Do you think that my tank's going to look like a cesspool of fighting dead, diseased fish? Is that where I'm going with this? I don't know. I don't think that's where I'm going with this. Not even close. I hope you all have a great day.